What's good, LDG gang? Lockdown gang in the building, man. First and foremost, glory to God for another day. Today, we're talking about crossplay. I ain't trying to make that rhyme. But we're talking about crossplay and the honest truth of why I truly feel that 2K hasn't given us crossplay. Shout out to Brutal Sim for this topic of the day of discussion. He made a video about FIFA 22 providing crossplay mid-game, like patching it into the game. So now that they can be able to play crossplay between PlayStation 5, Xbox Series S, and Xbox Series X. And they have the ability to turn it on or turn it off if they choose to freely not to. But why hasn't 2K given us crossplay? I know Ronnie 2K did say we can't just easily turn a switch on. And I know we've been saying it's because of the paywall, it's because of the money, it's because of X, Y, and Z. But what if Ronnie isn't telling a lie? What if he's actually telling the truth? Hear me out. I think the true reason why we haven't got crossplay is because the infrastructure of the city is not sufficient enough to provide us with crossplay ability. And they haven't been able to crack the code to get people in sort of an open world, different genres, different games to be able to come together and play a game, and it can be efficient and it can not be laggy and it not be an issue, because now you're dealing with not just your bandwidth but somebody else's bandwidth on a different console, and it can be a little bit trickier. And so when you look at GTA, one of the biggest games ever, it's only able to play with people within the same console frames, right? Maybe it's only efficient enough to run with people at the same console frame. So Xbox can play with Xbox, PlayStation can play with PlayStation, and PC can play with PC, but you can't intertwine none of them. And I think it's because when they go into this open world, it's not just a set and a parameter, right? It's a big world with a lot of stuff where you can go into stores, you can do other things, and I think that creates a lot of more chaos. Whereas FIFA, MLB, Call of Duty, Apex, Fortnite, you're going into a lobby, and then that lobby is preparing you to get into a match. It's not just an open world where you can roam around. You can't roam around anywhere, really. You're just loading into the preload, getting everybody in there, and then you loading up into an actual match, whereas there's parameters, where there's barriers, and it's not an open world per se, if that makes sense. With 2K, when you load into the city, you're not loading into just to play games. You're loading in to go shopping, you're loading in to run around, you're loading in to play different other stuff. It's a lot of stuff going on, and that can be a very chaotic place when it comes to latency and stability and errors and all kind of issues. So when Ronnie 2K says it's not just the ability to flick a light switch on or off, I think I believe him, because I truly think that the infrastructure that they made is not going to allow crossplay to be sufficient and effective enough where it's not laggy, where you're not dropping frames, where you're not getting booted out, and you're not getting error codes. I think that is the real reason why. But hear me out, though. The second point, I truly think that doesn't mean they can't add it. They just can't add it to the city, but they can add it to other modes. Maybe they start with adding it to Pro AM, 3v3, Rec, and all of the other matchmaking modes that's loading you into an actual different world and a lobby, and do it that way. And maybe even for events. And then eventually, if they want to change the infrastructure, or if they crack the code to be able to figure out how to add crossplay to the city, I think we got something here. But at least 2K can start with Pro AM, 3v3, 5v5, Rec, 5v5, all of the matchmaking modes. I think they provide crossplay in those modes, which is easier to sort of manage, which is easier to make happen. And then eventually when you can crack the code for the city, or you just revamp the whole city and you just get rid of it and just create sort of like a lobby where people can connect and be cool and buy stuff, or a mall, right? And then they can go into the actual game to go play. And that's what they do, nothing but play. No roaming, no nothing. It's just a lobby to play. And I think the infrastructure right now is the reason why 2K hasn't given us crossplay. And the real reason why it's not just as easy as we making it seem, to be honest with you. Sometimes there are some barriers, and if they can do it and they're just not doing it, then that's a big issue that we should have with the company itself. But I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt this time around. And I'm going to say the reason why they're not able to do crossplay is because the infrastructure is not ready to do crossplay. It's your boy Bake, man. Y'all let me know, how do y'all feel about that? I love you. Live life stress less. You're rocking one of the best. Without God, my life would be a mess. Always remember to have faith, hope, and love. Crossplay. Could it happen? Maybe. Who knows?